saying about it, the life-threatening impacts that they're going to get, and then eventually where Melissa ends up. Let's start off first with saying, man, I'm glad to be back with you guys. I've been out for a few days, really grateful for a good team that's been great to me, helping me out with the situation that I've been in after a motorcycle accident. Double casted, or at least casted on one hand and brace on the other, but it is good to be back here in studio with you guys and talking about everything that we got going on here. So, again, we've got quite a few things to talk about. First of all, tonight, pretty calm in nature, just a little bit of light rain on there. You don't even see it out in our area-wide cameras here, anywhere across Louisville, Cordon, E-Town, Seymour. You don't see any wet roads out there, but there is just a little bit of light rain. Most of the day was just dreary, cloudy, cool as well. We started off right where we should this time of year, 47 degrees for that morning low. That afternoon high temperature only got to 61, and that was one of our warmer temperatures here in the city compared to outlying areas. A lot of folks couldn't even get out of the 50s today, so it has been a bit on the chilly side. Also extra cloudy. Those clouds have finally turned into actual rain for us. We had quite a bit of virga today, meaning rain was falling out of the clouds, but it wasn't reaching all the way to the ground. And without it getting to the ground, of course, we don't get measurable rainfall. It doesn't help out with, the rain that we could use around here, but we picked up on a lot earlier this month, so we don't need a lot at this point. But there is some measurable rainfall right along and north of the 64 corridor, stretching from Orange County through Shelby County. Some places have picked up on a few hundredths of an inch of rain, and this is associated with that big red L out to our west over the southern plains. That cutoff low is going to be swinging on in. As it does so later this weekend and early next week, it is going to bring us quite a few rain chances. It'll be a slow mover, meaning that every single day for at least the first half of this work week has some sort of rain chance in there, but some days a lot more than others. A lot more rainfall, a lot better rain chances too. Let's just talk about tonight. Some drizzle for some. You've seen it out there if you're north of the 64 corridor. You may notice it as you've been driving around, and temperatures slow to drop tonight, but I think that we'll get back into those upper 40s briefly, despite the cloud cover acting like a blanket. I mean, we've had some cold mornings around here, especially Friday morning. A lot of folks getting below freezing, which is why we had that freeze warning in effect. Not going to be the case this weekend, though. We are going to be about 10 degrees warmer Sunday morning than where just about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where we were starting off the day on Friday. Tomorrow, basically the same thing as today, about a 20% chance for rain at best. Cloud cover all around. Temperatures are going to be hanging out in the low 60s for most of the day. So let's walk you through here an advanced track. A little bit of light rain that's going to be moving through tonight. You won't even notice it. Probably won't even hear the pitter-patter on the rooftop. Not one of those rains that you really fall asleep to, because again, it's not going to be very noticeable. A few hundredths of an inch of rain at best, ending, maybe keeping around through just after sunrise tomorrow morning. But I think for churchgoers, or at least coming back from the first service tomorrow morning, you'll probably already see the roadways dry up entirely and the rain should be out of here as temperatures do climb into the low 60s tomorrow. Some of our southern communities might touch 63, 64 degrees, but I think that Louisville and North going to be lucky to get into those low 60s tomorrow. Not a lot of sunshine for us. Same thing as today. Lots of cloud cover out there. And you'll notice that some lingering light showers exist. But just like today's rain, most of it will probably be virga. So falling from the cloud, but not quite making it to the ground. We still got plenty of dry air in play. But these days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday, with the light rainfall trying to happen, that's just moistening up the atmosphere. We're getting the dew points up a little bit, and eventually that will lead to some pretty decent rainfall midweek. Now this is where the center of low pressure, the main system, moves directly over our area. There could be some shift to this north and south of our region that will determine how warm our temperatures will get through the day. It'll also determine how much rainfall we get, but it's looking like a really solid chance for an extra cool day on Wednesday with rainfall for many of us, and it's going to be pretty consistent through most of the morning, afternoon, and into the evening hours. Should start to break up as we get closer to Thursday morning, but once all is said and done, we could be talking about a pretty decent amount of rainfall for us. Just the next few days through Tuesday, I mean, again, we're talking a couple tenths of an inch at absolute best. But then you get that Wednesday rainfall, and that's where we're talking an inch or more in quite a few locations, most of the long-range models, saying that we are going to get 1 to maybe 1.5 inches of rain in the higher spots. But that's a prolonged period of time. We're talking 12 to 18 hours easily, so we're not really anticipating flooding potential around here. I mean, we'll monitor it, but it's more so just ponding on roadways and things will be slick for a while. The exact opposite scenario, though, for those that are down in the Caribbean, Melissa is going to be an absolute beast. Already has winds of 100 miles per hour. It has strengthened pretty quickly over the last 24 hours. A tropical storm yesterday, now a Category 2 today, and then it will become a Category 3 tonight. It's going through rapid intensification as we speak. Expected to become a Cat 3 later tonight, just after midnight most likely, and then a Category 4 Sunday night or late Sunday evening. Expected to become a Cat 5 before making landfall in Jamaica, likely Monday night or Tuesday morning. Now, it should weaken just a touch before making landfall. Really doesn't matter, and the National Hurricane Center is stressing this. It does not matter if it has winds of 150 miles per hour at Cat 4 or winds of a greater than 156 Cat 5. That doesn't matter. It will be intense with the winds, and it'll be a prolonged period. In fact, look at this. We're talking already getting rain today from this system, then on Sunday, then on Monday, then on Tuesday. So 3-4 days of heavy rainfall expected, and that's going to total up to a lot. And that beating from the winds for especially Monday and Tuesday, and maybe even Sunday night. So that prolonged scenario means widespread power outages for an extended period of time. Usually the eastern side of the storm has the worst impacts, the heaviest of the rainfall as well. So that'll really hit western Hispaniola, or basically Haiti, Port-au-Prince area. That'll hit those spots pretty hard with very significant rainfall as well. But the center of the storm going over Jamaica, the whole island severely impacted, but especially the eastern side. And then going up into eastern Cuba, significant impacts expected there as well. And then into the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and eventually up toward Bermuda. But it's a slow mover through the first half of this work week, which is why the rainfall is going to be exceptional. I mean, we're talking like Hurricane Harvey type of scenario down there. In the black colors that you see here, that represents a foot or more of rain on the GFS model. The European model also brings significant rain, but a foot or more of rain from western Haiti into much of Jamaica, especially the eastern half, through the eastern portions and eastern tip of Cuba and into the Bahamas. A foot or more of rain widespread. A lot of places, 15 to 25 inches easily in Jamaica, and 30 inches or more. In fact, the National Hurricane Center now calling for 40 plus inches of rain possible. Some of the models are bringing as much as 5 feet. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that that higher end is likely, but when models are spitting out basically what would be 2/3 of Jamaica's yearly rainfall in a 3, maybe 4 day period, that's crazy. This is going to be a detrimental situation for them down there. If you're a thoughts and prayers type of person, if you are a praying person, they're going to need it for sure, because this is going to be the storm of a lifetime for these folks, unfortunately. The Caribbean and the Eastern Atlantic getting hit the absolute hardest here. Jamaica, Eastern Cuba, Hispaniola, like I said, specifically Haiti, but parts of Western Dominican Republic as well. Bahamas, Turks and Caicos on the far eastern side of the storm, you're going to get some heavy rain down there. Major hurricane status, that will happen tonight, most likely, just after midnight. We may even, with the 11 o'clock update, may get that major hurricane status to come in. Rapid intensification, they've talked about the towering cumulonimbus clouds and all around the center of the eye just now becoming more well-developed, and we don't see it fully yet on IR, but it's getting there, and it looks like from one side to the other, it's about 20 nautical miles. So not crazy big. They tend to start out small, but that rapid intensification process is crucial for what happens over the next 24 to 48 hours before it makes landfall in Jamaica, which is why we're anticipating the Cat 5 winds just before landfall. Then maybe with that little bit of land interruption there, that could cause some weakening, some shear that it may be running into. Right now, an area of high pressure is really directing this storm to the west, and then that slight turn north, and once that high breaks down, that's when it'll quickly move off to the north and east up through Cuba, the Bahamas, and toward Bermuda. But the extreme rainfall is the biggest story here. Yes, the major hurricane force winds of around 150 to 160 miles per hour possibly, but really it is that rainfall of 30 plus inches possible in a mountainous region on an island, meaning that flash flooding widespread, mudslides and landslides quite a few places, and that will end up meaning isolated communities. And what we mean by that is that places will literally be cut off entirely cut off from anybody else being able to reach them for a prolonged period of time. Serious infrastructure issues. Again, you're not just talking landslides in a couple spots, widespread across the island, impacting a lot of cities down there. So again, if you're a praying person, be praying for the folks that are going through this situation. I hope that there are evacuation protocol in play for folks to get off the island as fast as possible, or at least to the western side, because the western side will get a lot less rain, still heavy, but a lot less than the eastern side. If you're one of those folks that loves cruising and you've got plans to be down in the Caribbean, anticipate that to be changed here early next week. If you're getting ready, maybe you're already down at your port and you're getting ready to take off. I'm sure that your captains have told you that things are changing for you. Those that may be heading to the Bahamas midweek, Wednesday, maybe into Thursday, some impacts there as well. This is going to be a very extreme storm. Would not be surprised to see this one, Melissa, be taken off the names list for the future and be retired after this season, because things are getting bad in a hurry there. So that's our update on the rain that we have coming our way. I'm going to check some folks asking about what are we looking like when it comes to a hard freeze. Not expecting those in the future. In fact, all of our low temperatures in the days to come, 40s and up. So no more hard freeze anticipated here. The growing season, Marcus said, is pretty much done in southern Indiana. Hasn't been declared done in Kentucky just yet. There were some spots that got to freezing in Kentucky, but I know a lot of you still have tomatoes out there that are producing and ripening. So those tomato plants, if you protected them, they may still be good to go in the days to come, may still have the opportunity to ripen, but really not anticipating warm days, but at least warmer nights. Will be right around average most of these nights. Getting a little bit of rain in New Albany, not surprised by that. And folks still asking what happened. You know, just to be clear and honest, took a turn little wrong. Unfortunately, I did what we call target fixation on a mailbox on a turn. And unfortunately, instead of going into the turn on my motorcycle, I went right toward that mailbox and went off the road, did a flip, fractured 6 different bones in my hands, wrists, and arms. But we are walking, talking, and I get to be able to use a clicker today. So I'm very grateful for that, to be here with all of you guys and still get to do a job that I love, still get to live a life. I mean, you learn how precious life is very quickly in a scenario like that. So happy to be here with you guys, happy to be here doing the job and just on earth, and hopefully to glorify God as well. So we're here, we're rocking and rolling, and appreciate all the prayers that you guys have given me as well. But again, for everybody that's down there in the Caribbean, be saying prayers for them, because it is going to be a crazy next few days. We'll be giving you all the updates as they come out to us. That rapid intensification process happening tonight. Major hurricane status here soon, and eventually Category 5 before making landfall in Jamaica. So that's all that I have for you guys tonight. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. I know that there's not a lot going on right now. We're not having crazy weather up here, but just wanted to give you that update on the rain that's coming our way, especially midweek. Wednesday looking like the wettest of the next 7 days, and that best opportunity for widespread, all-day dreary type of rain for us. And our eyes going to be focused on the tropics as well. While they're not impactful for us, you know that some folks are going to be having some plans down in that direction, and you probably want to have the latest on that. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. That's the latest on what's happening here out in the tropics. We'll see you at 10 o'clock. Of course, the World Series going on WDRB, so we'll be on either WBKI or WMYO to start off the newscast, and then tuning back into WDRB.